Good evening. As all members have received a copy of the call for tonight's meeting, excuse me, will members and our guests please take their seats? This meeting will now come to order. As all members have received a copy of the call for tonight's meeting, the reading of the call will be omitted. Will everyone please rise and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance. Thank you. Well, it is clear to me that we have a quorum, just 1/3 of the membership, 77 members. Welcome to our special summer meeting. My name is Tom Byrne, RTM moderator. As all members have received a copy of the minutes of our June 9 meeting, the reading of those minutes will be omitted. Are there any proposed changes to the draft minutes? Hearing none, and absent objection, the minutes as submitted stand adopted upon unanimous consent. Now, we did have a couple of questions in preparing the June minutes on attendance, and I understand there were some incorrect markings for from the districts on which members were present. So I asked our district officers to please take care. We try and minimize any corrections that need to be made to these minutes. And with respect to tonight's district meetings, I am told you may use one of the voting cards that was in your packet tonight as an attendance card. Just cross it out and put district attendance at the top, and that will be sufficient. All right. Item 1 and only now comes before us. May we have a resolution on that? Amy Siebert, our Commissioner of Public Works.
Good evening. Thanks everybody for coming out. I'll take the snappy here. Resolved that the sum of $3,100,000 be and the same is hereby appropriated to be added to capital account number J3615965014207, known as sewer rehabilitation (parentheses large diameter and parentheses).
Thank you. Will a member please move the adoption of the resolution? Resolution on item 1 has been moved and seconded. May we have the reports of the committees that consider this? Beginning with Finance Committee report. Rob Pirelli-Minetti with the Finance Committee report.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Okay.
No.
Good. The Finance Committee met together with the Public Works and the Health and Human Services Committee in a joint meeting on August 20th at 8 p.m. Town Hall. We had a significant presentation from Amy Siebert, who moved the resolution, and Rich Feminella, who's the project manager, to discuss this significant rehabilitation project of the junction box and the main lines, basically from Horseneck Brook down to the main sewage treatment plant, Grass Island. This is a project that is planned to rehabilitate a slightly deteriorated or fairly significantly deteriorated system in this area that we have an opportunity to do it in conjunction with the bridge work, which saves a significant amount of money in that process. And this is a project that probably needs to be done. Needs to be done now. If we do it this winter, we can do it without having, while the bridge work is already being done, we don't have to take that out and do it again. The sewer system, this is the gravity sewer system. There's an awful lot in this system. There's 185 miles, 187 miles, something like that, of gravity sewers. And they all come together down there to come down into the main sewage treatment plant, Grass Island. So this is a very significant part of the system, and it's a key part of the system. They're going to be using recent technology that enables them to put a liner in inside the junction box, and the pipes that are huge concrete pipes. I think, you know, sewers are one of the basic things the town does, and this is a project that needs to be done. The questions that arose really had more to do with the timing of the project. Why did it come up as a special appropriation, and why wasn't it cycled and come up with before? And I think the answers were relatively satisfying on that. They were looking into it, and the results weren't completely in time to be, and with estimates of the costs in time to put it in the budget. The sewer work is divided into two parts: sewer improvements and sewer maintenance. Sewer improvements are financed over 20 years and they're bonded. Sewer maintenance, and that's what this project has been determined to be, are financed basically by adding to the sewer levy over about 5 years. The sewer levy is a separate part of your tax. It's separate from your regular mill rate. So it's an additional, you know, this won't greatly increase costs immediately for this, but it's spread over a few years. I think this is a worthwhile project and that deserves your support. The Finance Committee voted 11-0-0 to support the project.
Thank you. Tom Cornelius with the report of our Health and Human Services Committee.
Health and Human Services met also on Wednesday, August 20th, along with Finance and Public Works. Amy Siebert and Rich Femiella in Public Works presented the $3.1 million interim appropriation to rehab the sewer line. The project is estimated to take about 4 months and should be finished in the spring of 2015. The only thing I could add to the finance report is that the way they do it, the lining goes into the pipe and they blow it out and it hardens, and so and it's supposedly going to last 50 to 75 years. The vote was 7-0-0 with District 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12 absent. Thank you.
Thank you. Arlene Lamazzo, Chair of our Public Works Committee.
Public Works also met on August 20th. Amy Siebert, our commissioner, was with us, and Rich Eminella, who's the wastewater division manager, was with us. In the audience was Mike Mason, chairman of BUT, and he was called upon to clarify some of the funding issues that were raised at that meeting. Our vote was 10-0-0. Districts 4 and 9 were absent. I think it's already been stated, almost all of what I have to say is that by putting together the $3 million interim with the monies that are already allocated in the maintenance, on the maintenance line, not all of which would be used for this project. Some money will be left, about $500,000 will be left in that account, because there are things that come up with sewer maintenance that have to be attended to on an annual basis. That 3.5 in the maintenance account, if you go to your CIP book, the budget book, you will notice that every year there's about $2 or $3 million in that account. But that's not unusual that money is there. I've heard people say that that's rainy day money. It is not. That's money that's there on an annual basis for things that come up. I also want to say that there's only one pipe that's being replaced, and that's the one that crosses the brook. It's called a beam pipe. And as I understand it, it's square. That's why they call it a beam. It's not round. That's the only pipe that's being replaced. Everything else is just being rehabilitated. That's why this is a maintenance project. I don't know that we mentioned the total cost of the project is $5.6 million. It's been said it's dangerous to postpone. Other people have raised the question of why it wasn't put out to bid. Because the Horse Neck bridge work is being done by a contractor, under contract, who did go through the bid process, and because he has all the right equipment that we need, This project was piggybacked on that one. Maybe Andy can explain how that contract was written, but anyhow, as I understand it, there is a provision in the contract that the guy has for the bridge project that would allow this to be added, something to be added. So this is what's being added. So I don't have anything more to say other than, and this is my personal point, which I'll put in here. Historically, when the CIP was first conceived, there were two issues that were raised that we were warned about. One was, you may come to a year where you can't do everything you've got listed. So you're going to push some things out. So the concern was, well, maybe you push so much out that it would snowball and then you're nowhere. That hasn't happened. The other thing was, there will always be things that come up that are not in the CIP. Things that you didn't expect that you have to deal with. And those things would take precedence over things that are in the CIP. So we always knew there might be something like this that would emerge that we have to deal with. That's just a historical aside. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion on item 1. Jason Auerbach, District 8.
I promise to be brief. Very brief. I stand
You
up
would have
tonight.
been briefer had you not said that.
I stand up tonight to ask all of us to learn from this debate on the sewers and calling this interim meeting of the RTM. The item on the call is an opportunity for the RTM to re-examine our role in the budget process. By being a deliberative, large body, the RTM should be able to answer the all-important question of, I don't know what I don't know. While this is a worthwhile project that will likely be approved overwhelmingly, we lose the discussion and we do miss the I don't know what I don't know. In District 8, we're looking at how the RTM can be more involved and more educated. We will likely bring something new this fall. But at the end of the day, we need to be a more educated body. This goal appears to have the support of most of the town leaders we've spoken to. This interim appropriation request should not have surprised any of us. If we had been more involved during the 2014-2015 budget, there would not have been some of the debate over the timing of this request. I hope we do not waste this opportunity to become a more engaged, a more involved, and my favorite word, educated body. Thank you.
Further discussion on item 1. Will the district chairs please mark your voting cards? Item number 1, and proceed to call your delegation. We have the result of the vote on item number 1. This is the interim appropriation of $3.1 million. Those in favor, 153. Opposed, 2. Abstaining, 2. That item is carried. There being no further business to come before the meeting tonight, this meeting stands adjourned upon unanimous consent. Thank you all.